Tomorrow's a big old day for gaming, okay, with the Switch 2 being, well, it's all but confirmed, right? Like, we're going to get pricing, a release date, and a whole bunch of games that are going to come out on launch for the Switch 2, and I'm not here to prognosticate, and I'm not here to opine on what I think the price point is going to be. I think I've seen it leaked, and it's supposed to be, what, 500 USD or something like that, so it's probably going to be in on and around that area, and I'd imagine, right, because the way that Nintendo does this stuff, we'll probably see it sooner rather than later. This isn't, a big setup for next year, you're going to be seeing this. No, it's probably going to be in your hands by the end of the year, but this is it's more than likely going to be the biggest news story in gaming this entire year. Like, there's probably going to be some games, that some of which that immediately don't jump to mind, that are going to be bigger bombs or bigger controversies, okay? As bad as Assassin's Creed Shadows has been, more on that shortly. Not this video, other videos. There's going to be other crap to come along to supplant that, and by the end of the year, we'll just look back and go, oh yeah, that was funny how Ubisoft immediately had to hop into a business relationship with Tencent that their stockholders aren't exactly that happy about, and now that you have a full day of trading under your belt, and you can announce it leading into a weekend. Very funny how that ends up working. But yeah, the Switch 2, it's going to be a shot in the arm. Probably not for the industry. As a Western industry, it's ostensibly cooked. Like, there's no saving it at this point in time. This is just simply bolstering Eastern supremacy at this point. Okay, so Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games, surprise announcement sparks rumors, which, yeah, interesting, right? Because we're starting to get some leaks, heading out to this, and yeah, what can we expect, okay, for the big old live stream that is supposed to be taking place on a Wednesday morning? Last Thursday, Nintendo announced during a special video presentation that both the original and Nintendo Switch and its upcoming successor will support a new virtual card system, which, yeah, as an aside, that is absolutely AIDS, by the way. This is when the big N gives with one hand, they taketh away with the other. Allowing players, to share their digital games with friends, and it's a little bit more complicated than that, where your digital rights are very much being compromised. So yeah, for as effusive of my praise at the beginning for Nintendo is, they're also liable to do some incredibly stupid stuff. If you've been following Nintendo for as long as I have, you're very well aware of that. But anyways, alongside the announcement, Nintendo updated its website. Oh, we're talking about another updated website, huh? With a page explaining how the new feature worked. But someone at the company may have slipped up, as at the bottom of the page revealed about a previously unannounced line of games for the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, key takeaway from the mention of the Switch 2 Edition games has sparked speculation. Okay, so yeah, what do we got out here? Some believe that these will be upgraded versions of existing Nintendo Switch games that struggle to run on the original hardware. So yeah, kind of like one good thing that I got to say about the Xbox Series X. Okay, because you can go ahead and you can plunk in original Xbox 360 games, and hell, even Xbox One games, and they get upscaled 1080p 60. At least. It might go a little bit higher, but I at least remember people talking, they get upscaled so that they run properly on updated hardware, which is, if that's what they're going to be doing with the Switch 2, if that's another one of the features that's available, no, that's a great thing. That really is. Make them run whatever that screen is going to pump out. I wouldn't imagine it's going to be 1080p, but even if it is 720 on the screen, and maybe you do get 1080p output, but yeah, a nice smooth 60 FPS, because I know what Breath of the Wild struggled, and definitely Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, if you could go ahead and make that a smooth experience, that would be pretty fantastic. But we will see more. I wouldn't imagine they're gonna detail everything in this upcoming event, because they're gonna want to trickle out little information throughout the rest of the year leading up to release. And yeah, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be an absolute banger. Is it gonna be bigger than the Switch itself? I don't know, man. Time will tell. It's all going to come down to proper pricing and what games are going to be on the system, and that has led to a bunch of people, and made mention to a website that's there. There's also another one that just sparked up in the last couple of days, and because of their multi-platform strategy, it's really sparking a lot of conversation. And to be completely honest, it's a game that I've had my eye on for a while, mostly because, well, I played the original like so many other people did when it came out in 2000. Now that it's going to be celebrating its anniversary, July 7th, Final Fantasy IX, a game that very famously, man, like, it just really needs some quality of life improvements, okay? like the random battles and the big sweeping shots it has before you get into battle. Like, that's just a laborious task. And, well, there's just a couple of things, because I really like 9. It's not my favorite. It's probably my second favorite, because, well, there was only 3 mainline Final Fantasy games that came out during the PlayStation's life cycle. So yeah, I like it more than 8, but I legitimately don't like 8 at all. I've given it so many opportunities to impress me, but every time I go through it, it's like the characters are eh. Like, Irvine's fine. Zell's a spaz, a selfie. Quistis becomes a completely and total non-entity after Renoa enters the party. But yeah, Squall, I like more than most people, but yeah, Renoa is definitely the biggest selling point, but their teenage melodrama and the way that story just completely and totally falls apart with time dilation and all that shit at the end. But banger soundtrack. I don't like the gameplay all that much, all of the junctioning crap, but yeah, that's 8, and that's 8's problem. It's the one that I have very fond memories of playing, of renting the game and setting up late at night. You know, I can still hear the, Alm Garden theme in my head right now, just the sounds of the footsteps going through and traipsing through the hallways. Is like, nothing's also gonna beat Triple Triad when it comes to, in-game card battling system, except for Queen's Blood, and got a little bit of competition right there. But when it comes to a game that, for me, is right there on the precipice of being a complete masterpiece, 9 is right there. For me, kind of falls apart at the end, but the main antagonist and Kuja, the characters, I really like the cast of characters that's there. It's just, why do they have to go ahead and throw in one of the dumbest final battles? But I know it's all supposed to be referential, and it's supposed to pay deference to all of the Final Fantasies that came before it, because it was a big end of the big end of an era thing. And this is one of the early examples of member berries getting in the way of telling a competent story. But all things considered, like, 9's pretty fantastic. When it comes to my favorite Final Fantasies, it's probably in my top 5. Mostly just for the music alone. Like, it's got, easily on the PlayStation, the best soundtrack, and it's right up there with 6 as my second favorite full-on soundtrack. So yeah, if it's going to be getting this long-rumored remake, okay, and because Square Enix, as we've talked about it before, it's got this whole multi-platform release plan moving forward. That was, it was first detailed back in May, after early sales figures were alluded to but never fully released for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Square Enix was going to be tearing up all the stuff that they were doing, trying to be exclusive, on PC to Epic Game Store when things would first launch, and then when it came to console, just sticking with PlayStation. But none of that stuff was really working, and you had a bunch of creators going, hey, can we just go ahead and release stuff to, all the people who want to play it wherever the hell they want to play it? And Square Enix was like, you know what? It's a pretty damn good idea. Super successful for Capcom, and you know what? Hey, we can go ahead and do that too. We also got the IP bullets, so we can go ahead and fire. So yeah, fuck it. Let's go ahead and do that. So it's leading to a lot of speculation, okay? Especially with the establishment of this website right here, okay? And how it's, right now, at least, it's kind of light on particulars, okay? It's very much, hey, you can come and buy a bunch of our stuff. We're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary, and you can get, that's really tempting, actually, to go ahead and get the, the full soundtrack or something like that, because, god damn it, man, Roses of May, oh my god, it's so fantastic. But the announce of this long-rumored Final Fantasy IX remake, it's one of these things that I've been paying attention to, because there was a fan remake that was, this is going back years at this point in time, of this guy. He just absolutely detailed everything. Like, he had Andros completely realized the proper 3D upscaling, but then after a bunch of updates, he came out and said, yeah, I can never release it because I was hit with a cease and desist from Square Enix. And it's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? You did all of this hard work, but it's like, yeah, this is going to be all for me. It's like, oh, penis. And so, in the aftermath of that, there started to be some rumors that, okay, it's going to be a little bit more involved than any of, like, the pixel remasters that they did for the first 6, or for the, remaster that they did for 8, which was just, a little bit of an upscaling. This Final Fantasy IX remake is supposed to be something a little bit closer to the Final Fantasy VII remake project, but not going that far, and just simply being one game. So I would like to see what they're going to be doing with that, and if that's going to be the template for certain games, because if there's another game that is definitely is a prime candidate for having a Final Fantasy VII remake type treatment, I would give it to 6 because there is so much to go ahead, and I think breaking down that story into just 3 separate games would be perfect. But going back to some of those other older games, like Square Enix is obsessed with 4, so if you want to go ahead and whatever we get with this 9 remake and doing that to 4, that would give me an opportunity to finally go back and play 4, or I don't know, maybe fix the problems you have with 3 and 5 and do something with 1 and 2 again instead of just, soullessly releasing them. But I hope that there's some credibility to these rumors, because we've heard this for a while, even going back to the Game Awards at the tail end of last year, where it looked like Square Enix was right there on the cusp of doing something, but then they're like, nah, Rebirth is coming out on PC, which is like, okay, cool, that's great. But, playing 9 again, it's been a minute, and especially if we're going to be doing some proper quality of life improvements. I'm listening. So Final Fantasy IX Remake hype reignites ahead of Nintendo Switch 2 reveal after mysterious 25th anniversary website launched. Yes, the long-rumored Final Fantasy IX Remake may finally be on the verge of becoming reality. That's what hopeful fans are thinking after Square Enix quietly launched an official 25th anniversary website for the beloved PlayStation Classic, which, for a lot of people, it's their favorite. For me, like I said, top 5, but it's not one that, not like I'm jonesing to go back for it, but if this remake comes out and if it's also going to be on PC, it's going to be tough to resist. But yes, published entirely in Japanese. Obviously, you can get it, translated, because that's what I have right here. But I really like that. I really like that art. That's got to be a mono or somebody very expertly copying it. Zidane's face is far too express. It might be a little bit different, but anyways, while on the surface that statement seems fairly standard for an anniversary campaign. Oh yeah, right. We're preparing various projects, including merchandise collaborations to commemorate the 25th anniversary. So please look forward to it. So yeah, okay. Adding fuel to the fire, the timing of the website's launch, which comes days before Nintendo's expected April 2nd direct. An event widely believed to focus on the next generation Switch 2. The coincidence hasn't gone unnoticed, with Final Fantasy IX's stylized visuals and nostalgic tone. It's seen as a perfect fit for Nintendo's hardware and audience. Naturally, speculation is running wild that the remake could make its debut at that very event. And yeah, it would be great, because 9 is, god damn it, man, 9 is so good. Like, the story is very good. For me, yeah, it falls off a cliff right there, right at the end. Okay, it trips over the finish line, but all the way leading up to it, fucking great, man. Like, Freya's amazing. Steiner and Beatrix relationship. Like, if we could just go ahead and flesh it out maybe a little bit more. But outside of Armand, yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by him. But even Eiko, for being as potentially annoying as she is, it's like she's somewhat endearing in that relationship that she has with Garnet. Like, it's man, I really like 9. I want this remake to be a reality. And Square Enix, man, with their business practices moving forward, this does seem like a reality. So yeah, games that they have in the pipeline, you got Kingdom Hearts 4, should be hearing more about that this year, because holy shit, they've been silent on that. And you know what, Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of the most disappointing games I have ever had the opportunity of playing. The Chrono Cross remaster, is that what you're doing? Okay, I never got around to playing that. That's another one. Like, I didn't play Chrono Trigger until, the same time, a little bit later than when I first played Final Fantasy VI. So that's not even like nostalgia talking. That was like, I was in my mid-20s when I was playing those games for the first time, but never got around to Cross. And yeah, Remake for PC, well, they're all out there. Has come to fruition. Others, including Final Fantasy IX Remake and a Tactics Remastered. Now, if you want to go ahead and completely shatter the internet, like the 9 Remake rumors have been out there for a long enough time, but there were some people talking about a Tactics Remaster not that long ago. Yeah, it was Yoshi P who was talking about Tactics Remaster, I think. But yeah, if you really want to set people into overdrive, go ahead and redo that, because that's another game that I need to catch up on. But yeah, giving people the opportunity to experience the brilliance that is FF9 25 years on, it'll just once again drive home the point that gaming has really degraded in this past quarter century. And no, that is definitely not hyperbole. So with all that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.